We have a new president who's the general of the army, which I hold big respect for, and he's a man of the government and an experienced as well commander of the army that can play a major role. As well, we have the new prime minister, who is a relative of mine. We know his position as a judge in the international court. With those two personalities, there is big hope that Lebanon, with the formation of a new government, will be able to get out of the dark tunnel that we were diving deeper into. So we are happy as a government now to hand over the baton to the new government. Very proud of what we did, at least to stabilize the collapse the country was witnessing. At least from my part on the economic side, we did a lot of work to keep people able to put food on the table, to keep people able to go by day, because that's how complicated and difficult the situation was. It's not easier now. It might be more challenging given the last episode, which was the war, because we have massive destruction of villages, areas in Lebanon, infrastructure, and a lot of people that lost their jobs, lost their family members, and a lot of disparity in the country.
Despite the work that's being done, of course, Lebanon remains in deep economic crisis. Are you confident that your successor, Amin Salam, has the tools and experience needed to bring Lebanon back from what some have called financial abyss?
To be quite frank, I have very limited knowledge of Amir. I spoke with him this last week. However, his credentials, his track record seem to be, and as I had the chance to review them, give him a very good edge on the economic front and the financial front to really take that task on and do good work. He has investment experience. Like myself, he worked for many years in the United States with top firms that are in the investment sector, and I think he will be able to do some good work. However, the challenge remains, which is a big concern to me, the timing, the lifeline of this government. It's a government that is now bound to live for a year and 6 months, more or less, up until we get to the next parliamentary elections. So I will do my best next week to hand him over all the files that we worked on and to put him in a place where he can kick it off without really having to study everything again. Because by the time he gets familiar with all the files and everything, I had this personal experience, you will lose half of your term in office. So we're hoping to give him and the government everything they need to really start from an advanced position and be able to help the country.
Of course, his experience was at BlackRock. Is that what Lebanon needs right now, a Wall Street approach to reform on the ground?
Well, I had a lot of friends of mine in the government and outside the government were doing the same joke, because we know we were in New York, we all worked in New York, we know a lot of about BlackRock and investment type New York people. Look, New Yorkers, people who worked in New York are able to do anything. They are known to be hard workers. They are known to be go-getters. So I'm hoping that even if his experience was not directly rebuilding or building or fixing an economy of a country, but I think he has the edge. He has the edge to do good work if he's backed up by a serious team, particularly in the government, colleagues, Minister of Finance, Minister of Justice, Minister of Industry, Agriculture, those ministers that I worked with directly, that can help really lift the economy. If that ecosystem is there, I think Amir will do a good job.
And you're confident this new government will put in the work to unlock the reforms necessary to push forward the IMF deal that is also still stalled on the sidelines?
Well, that's the biggest concern then, because today, unfortunately, I would say, despite the fact we're giving some credit to our government, but our government missed a lot of opportunities as well.
Right. Because
the political environment didn't help. You know how it was before this government. It was a completely different world in politics in Lebanon. The decision-making was in a completely different place, and the government faced a lot of difficulties taking serious decisions on reforms, particularly because you're fighting a system that is 30, 40 years old of corruption, what we call a deep state in Lebanon, and it was not easy to go around that. I am one of the ministers that was very much attacked, harassed politically whenever we would try to work on reforms. But I think there is no option. There is no option in front of this government but to go directly, straight to the reforms, particularly the economic ones and the judiciary ones, because our new president said his #1 priority is fixing the judiciary system that will lead to a just nation and to a country that can have laws and regulations. So they have no other option but to do that.